How come every time somebody says it's better to wait until you're married before you have kids, people are always like, well, he can still leave you even if you're married. He can still leave you even... Duh!
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we're discussing a heavily debated topic, and that topic is, should women have kids before marriage, or should they make sure that they are married to their partner before having kids? Now, a lot of people have opinion about women having kids before marriage or women having kids after marriage. Now let's check out what they had to say, and then I'll come back to share my thoughts.
How come every time somebody says it's better to wait until you're married before you have kids, people are always like, well, he can still leave you even if you're married. He can still leave you even... Duh! Duh. The same way you can still die in a car accident even if you have your seatbelt on, but it's probably still a good idea to put that seatbelt on when you get in the car, right? Marriage protects you and gives you benefits that being a baby mama does not. Okay? So if you want to be a baby mama, that's your call. You're grown. You can do whatever you want. But stop trying to make women who want to wait until they're married before they have kids sound like they're crazy. Thank you.
To the comments I get about me saying I'm choosing to be a wife before I become a mother.
When I tell you I've been smiling in my FYP page, because lately I've been seeing so many young, beautiful girls pop up on my For You page, knowing their worth and knowing that they deserve to be married before giving a man a child. And the weak talking points of there not being 100% guarantees in marriage, let it go. There's no 100% guarantee in anything that you choose to do in life. Yet, you still been participating in life. You do realize you could leave out of your house today and literally lose your life, right? You could walk down the street, get hit by a car. You get in your car, get in a car accident that ends up in you being unalived. You could be walking down the street and be in a shootout and be a target that wasn't meant to get hit. All of these things can happen because there's no 100% guarantee in anything in life. You can put in an application for a job and still not get hired because that's a risk you take when you put in an application. It doesn't guarantee you the job. It's just so wild, though, that you have so much discernment when it comes to marriage, but you don't have this same discernment when it comes to anything else. Y'all are the same girls who will fly out of state with men that you don't know, even though that could lead to him unaliving you. You willing to take that risk, right? You willing to take the risk of going over men's house that you don't know. You willing to take the risk of having a man come to your house that you don't know. You willing to go out on dates with strangers that you barely know. All of those things can lead into bad situations that are not guaranteed to be positive in your favor, yet you still participate in it. Most of y'all biggest complaint about marriage is that you can't guarantee the fact that you won't be cheated on. Cheated on. That's your biggest concern, but you're willing to put your life at risk for carrying a baby, right? You're willing to have your whole body change, right? You're willing to have to go get surgery to get your body to try to have it look like it looked originally before you had a baby for a man who wouldn't even marry you. But your worst fear of marriage is being cheated on. Does that really make sense to you in your mind?
The normalization of having kids before marriage in our generation is so insane. And it's not funny because you're bringing a human being into this world who didn't choose to be in the situation that they're in because of lack of responsibility. Because at the end of the day, there's nothing legally binding you if that's your boyfriend. Like, you just have to go off of their word that they said they're not going to leave you. That doesn't even make any sense. At least with marriage, they're legally binded to you by law and by God, if you believe in God. When you get married, like, what? At least there's like, you know? Well, if somebody's your boyfriend or your situationship or your friend, like, they don't have any ties to you whatsoever. And the one part that I don't like either is like how, like, after somebody gets pregnant and they're not married, like, just saying if the man is the one to leave, like, they don't hold the man responsible. Take that man to court If he's not going to be in that child's life, at least he needs to be paying. It's not fair that one person is literally putting their whole life on the line to raise that child, while the other, because it takes two people to make a child, the other person's not contributing anything. They just get to live their life in whatever town they said they're in. And if somebody wants to sleep with you that bad, why don't they want to marry you? Let's start asking hard questions. Why does somebody want to sleep with you so bad, but they don't want to marry you? They want to potentially have a child with you, but they don't want to marry you. Wait, let's all sit and meditate on that. They don't want to marry you, but they want to have a child with you. Or even if it's not their intention to have a child, they want to do the actions and the steps to take to have a child, but they don't want to marry you. Stand up, because that person doesn't love you. Nobody who loves you would put you in that position. Because if somebody loved you, they would want to take the proper steps, marry you, then maybe have children in the future, because they see a future with you. They don't just see you and see what you have to offer / give to them for temporary satisfaction. It's just really sad. Like, and even like people, I think it's so easy to cast a stone, especially when it comes to like, oh, like they had a child. Wait, but like a lot of people just, sex before marriage is still bad. It's still wrong. So like, call a spade a spade. You just didn't get pregnant, you know?
One of the biggest reasons that I won't have children before marriage is because I am not going to sign up to be committed to this man forever if he has not already signed up to being committed to me forever. I also trust myself deeply to vet the man that I am married to. So if he hasn't been around long enough for me to be married to him, he definitely hasn't been around long enough for me to have a child with him. I consider having a child with me a massive privilege, and I also take the responsibility of furthering a bloodline of somebody else as an honor, and I take it very seriously, and I will not be furthering any man's bloodline. I will not be giving somebody the honor of having their children be raised by me, who will be like the best mother in the entire world, and I will not give somebody the honor of sharing DNA with me in a child, and I just won't do it because I respect myself so much and I see myself so much as sacred. This is how I personally view it. So I view myself in that such high esteem that I will not just allow any man to have a child with me. He absolutely must be my husband. And if he's my husband, I know he's a wonderful man because I trust myself to vet a wonderful man.
Marriage protects you and gives you benefits that being a baby mama does not.
This topic right here is why I never understood when people would say that having a child is less of a commitment than marrying someone. I never understood that, because when you have a child, you're creating an actual person, a whole human being, and you are stuck with that other person forever. People love to say, oh, we're stuck for 18 years. No. Every graduation, every birthday, when that child gets older and gets married, when that child gets married, then has kids, you are stuck together forever. Forever. So how are you going to tell me that having a child is less of a commitment than getting married? A child, y'all are stuck together forever. At least with marriage, whether you believe in divorce or not, you could get divorced. But a child, y'all are stuck forever.
I really want to know, when did people start thinking that like getting into a long-term relationship and then having a baby is the right step between getting married and then having a baby? This is truly no tea, no shade. But I personally feel like I see a lot more people around my age, like 25, 26, having children and then either getting engaged or getting married, or they're just in long-term commitments with people and they have babies and they have no desire to get married. And there's nothing wrong with having no desire to get married. I just want to know the kid, like having a kid in the midst of just a long-term commitment. what makes you want to have the baby instead of like getting engaged and then having a baby, or just having single parenthood? Like, I don't know. And it's truly like no shade, no tea. I just want to know, how did having a baby become less of a commitment than being engaged to someone or getting married? And I know not everyone's goal is marriage. Not everyone's goal is having a kid. But if you're dating someone long term and then you guys get pregnant, is the goal after having a baby, if you're committed to this person, not to get married? Because I assume that's what would happen after you have this baby. You're like, okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get engaged or get married. Like, is there like a societal pivot? Like, what's happening? What's going on?
I have a question because I just watched this video, and I will tag the creator, but she pretty much said that there are men out here telling women that they need to have their kid first in order to see if they're wife material. Please tell me she's playing. Please tell me that there are men trying to manipulate y'all like that, because that's the most absurd thing I have ever heard. Now, you know me, I'm not a fan of marriage and or kids, but I know that is backwards. I know if you want a kid, you want the family structure, it would be in the best intent to have the marriage first, make sure y'all can work this marriage together, and then have the kid. But to have the kid and then the marriage, that sounds like backwards. That's just backwards in my opinion. Please let me know. Is this what they're saying out there? Is this how they're finessing y'all? Is this why we got all these kids popping out, but y'all not getting married connected to it or anything like that?
A man wants me to push a baby out this power portal, you're gonna have to get on one knee, mother.
If he wants you to have his baby before marrying you, you should start running. He's trying to avoid legal obligations and 2, truly being committed to you. By making you a baby mama, he can leave you as a single mother with a child while still maintaining an attachment to you. He wants you tied to him, but at the same time wants to keep his options open.
Red flag that a lot of women overlook is, I'm ready to have a baby, but I'm not ready to be married. Having a baby is 10 times more of a responsibility than leading a household as a man and leading a full-grown woman. If you cannot commit, establish a foundation, a home, security, financially, spiritually, and emotionally with a full-grown human being, you have no right or no care to have a child. And ladies, it doesn't benefit you because they can leave when they're not ready, when you're not acting right, when your hormones are out of whack, when you're not the person they fell in love with, when your body has changed and is different. It gives them full autonomy to just, I don't want to deal with this, I want to leave. It's mama's baby, daddy's maybe. They can walk away, they can live their lives while you're stuck with a responsibility that they helped you create.
I'm not having a baby unless it rings on my finger, and a lot of black women tell me, oh, a ring does.
Being a wife and being a baby mama is totally different. And a ring means everything. First of all, a ring is a commitment that you're giving before God, and God sanctions that commitment when you get married, right? God don't sanction boyfriend and girlfriend. Number 2, when that man puts this ring on your finger, he's promising to always love you, always protect you, and being your cover. Ladies, that is priceless. Wait for your husband. If these boys are trying to give you a baby but not a ring, run.
Now, one of the creator, a guy, was talking about the fact that he watched another creator mention that some guys would tell some women that they need to have their child first so that they can see that they are wife material before they marry. And while he was talking, I was laughing because it might be weird, but growing up, there was this perception or concept that I saw as a child. I noticed that a lot of women that were marrying were pregnant. And I found out that some parents of some boys would tell their son that they should get their spouse pregnant, they get their partner, their girlfriend pregnant before they will allow them to marry, because they wanted to be sure, listen, they wanted to be sure that the girl could get pregnant. So quite a lot of times we're seeing the woman having like a 4-month or 5-month pregnancy belly and having marriage. Also at that time, I'm not going to exclude that, at that time, quite a lot of people believe that once a woman is pregnant, the guy must have to marry her. And so quite some women, I'm going to say it, some women would intentionally get pregnant to kind of force the guy, their partner, to marry them, because they know if they are pregnant, the guy's parents are going to say, you must marry her. Now, it doesn't happen as much as it used to happen when I was younger. And even the whole getting pregnant before marriage, parents suggesting that their sons impregnate their girlfriend first to know if the girl is going to get pregnant. It doesn't really happen a lot now. There are some reasons why it doesn't happen. One could be that nowadays, for some churches, part of their marital counseling program and everything before you get married in the church includes having a pregnancy test the week of your wedding. And if you are pregnant, the wedding doesn't hold in the church. They would cancel it. So the embarrassment of the church wedding being cancelled has kind of dialed down the parents saying, oh, you must get this person pregnant or something. Another thing is that in this economy, some couples are saying no, they are going to wait before they get pregnant. So the whole concept is not as much. It still happens. But now that I think about it, it's different from what that guy was talking about, because at least they get married before they give birth. It happens quite a lot. Or at some days after they give birth, it happens. But the concept of having 3 kids, 4 kids, having a relationship of 8 years and the man has not married you, it's weird to me. Like, we can say one child, you got pregnant. Why you're still pregnant? Why can't you go and get a marriage license? You don't have to do a big wedding. You can do the big wedding after the child has been born. But having multiple kids, staying with somebody for 8 years, 10 years, and the person has refused to marry you is totally weird to me. And yes, some people are saying that, oh, even if you get married, you can still do and undo, you can still leave. Yes, that is an option. Nothing is guaranteed, as some people have said, but it still shows that the guy is committed to you when he gets married to you earlier on, not after 10 years or after having 4 children and he just feels like he has nowhere to go, so let him just marry you. It's weird to me how people accept it, how women accept that, how people think that it's okay. And when people try to point out that this is not okay, that you should not accept this, they begin to attack you and think that you are jealous, you don't like them being happy, but you're just trying to prevent a problem from occurring in future. Because whether you like it or not, that marriage license protects you and your kids. I don't get it. And now there are some women that are boldly saying they cannot get pregnant without being married, and you attack them again for standing on business. Because you cannot stand on business, you are attacking the person that is standing on business. I don't understand it. I really hope that women rethink with this whole having kids before marriage, because a marriage license will protect the woman and her kids, and it will also show that the man is committed to the woman and is committed to their family. Even if it doesn't last for a long time, at least it was committed enough to sign the paper to make it legal. But anyway, that is my own opinion about having kids before marriage. I am not for it. But if you happen to get pregnant, you can always get married while pregnant. There's no rule that says you cannot get married while pregnant. But you should not have your child without having that legal document. But anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this whole topic. Do you think that women having kids before marriage is not a big deal, or do you think that a woman should get married first before having kids? I would love to hear your own thoughts about this topic, so please leave your comment in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe, and don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.